Welcome to Power Hour, where the editors of Powersports Business interview the movers and shakers of the industry. This episode is brought to you by Synchrony.
Hey everybody, this is Brendan with Powersports Business, and we're in for a special treat with John Resciniti. Wait, is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
Got it.
You know, Courtney had me thrown off with the Italian pronunciation. And Courtney Mulligan is with Russo Development, and a real estate developer in New Jersey, in the area where John, your motorcycle mall, is in Bellville, New Jersey.
Yep.
And you guys, so how close are you to New York City then?
We're about 5 miles at best. 10 minutes with no traffic, and maybe 2 hours with a little traffic, you know?
So you get a lot of your customers, are they New Yorkers or New Jerseyans? I mean, what's your base like?
Our grassroots, of course, always was Jersey. However, you know, our dealership where it's positioned is on 3 counties. So we're on Passaic, Essex, and Bergen County. So we draw from the local area, but being in such close proximity to the city, to Pennsylvania, you know, Connecticut, you know, this tri-state area is a big draw, good population density, and helps sustain, you know, the dealership and the sport and the industry in itself.
And I would imagine most people, well, I don't know for sure, but if you're that close to the city, most people are working in the city maybe and coming back to, you know, where Bellville is. And
that's correct. So yeah, it's we get a lot of bridge and tunnel crowd, we call them, right? We're commuters. But more so, I mean, that's kind of, you know, what prompted the second dealership and trying to fulfill my grandfather's legacy, and, you know, a north, a central, and a south. But unfortunately, I have 4 kids, so it's going to be a north, a south, an east, and a west.
Right.
But you know, we have people that live and work up in this area, and most have a summer home or a shore house or a beach house, or, you know, a cabin in the woods, and that's what, you know, allows the ability for us to step out and, you know, purchase another dealership and continue to offer that level of, you know, just experience to the customers in the powersports industry and service in the community that we're in, and still continue to have our roots planted here in New Jersey, but at the same time expand our reach a little bit more to our customers as a convenience to them. Shuffling jet skis, you know, ATVs, side-by-sides up the parkway, the turnpike. It gets a little rough commute, right, with those.
I'm assuming delivers a lot of these units, or some of them.
Yeah, we've got some delivery trucks on the road for sure at times, 4 to 6 at any given moment, helping to support the community.
Right.
Here.
And you're so involved. John can tell you he's so involved. That what were you doing late last night? Well, we were preparing for our podcast.
So while they were preparing, I was here.
Yeah, me too.
We stay late a couple nights a month during the busy season for us, and we'll stay late building and assembling vehicles. So we have what's called a build party. It's quite the party. We bring.
I guess I missed my invite. Yeah. I'm gonna get one next time, though. Don't worry.
We'll make sure Courtney's gonna be there helping.
You know, wear your gloves event kind of thing.
I'll be ready. I'm ready for anything.
Courtney will dig in. She's fine. She's
oh yeah, I
can go home.
That's it. So we'll stay, you know, last night we had 25, 30 people stay late with us from all different departments in the dealership, and we work together. And we start like an assembly line, you know, from tearing off the cardboard, forklifting the units down and stripping the units down, building, removal of the garbage, the trash, stockpiling, baling the cardboard, recycling, everything you could think of we do, and putting the batteries on charge and make sure it's prepared. So last night we got just into the 60s of units that were prepared in a 3-hour run. So we attacked it. We hit it pretty hard, and it's because we got such a great team.
OEM, or you got from all different manufacturers that you're?
All different manufacturers, but it helps us keep pace with the sales and making sure our inventory to turn quicker and in time for our customers, less of an inconvenience, built, ready to roll, and, you know, just in time inventory.
But my real question is, what was the vibe? What's the music? What do you play?
Oh, there's lots of music. We
know the inspiration.
We tend to rotate the music between, you know, who's down there and what's going on, but we give everybody a solid 20, 30 minutes of play before somebody gets fed up listening to some of the music. We put some different music on. We every now and then I have to police it, but they've been pretty good as far as what respectful of each other and their music at times, you know, but every now and then you'll get a flare up. You got to change the station.
Right.
go to something else in Sonos.
But hey, good music keeps things rolling. So keeping things rolling, you're also rolling into a new project here, from what I hear, which is why Courtney's here, the VP of Marketing for Russo Development. So maybe give me a little bit of a backstory before we get to Courtney's involvement here. Give me a little backstory about the property, where you are now, and the property you're sitting in right now, where your shop is, where the dealership is, and how this kind of came about.
For quite some time, we want to continue the sport that we're in, right, in the industry. And directly across the street where we're sitting right now, right, was a vacant warehouse and field that was left for 20, 30 plus years. My grandfather, always having an eye for real estate and teach me to look for things as I was younger, I was like, this would be a great place to have an indoor riding park. However, that didn't fit the town's mold at the time with the prior administration, but there were some people who were in favor of it and supported us, and chased this property down, learned a lot about our legal system in foreclosure and bankruptcy, and being able to obtain such a property, during which, they forced a little bit more that they wanted to see retail and residential use versus what I was looking to do on the avenue that would directly benefit motorcycle mall. So that has not given
you wanted
up my
to do
search.
a motocross park or a motorcycle park type thing originally, right?
Pretty awesome. I cannot tell a lie. That's pretty awesome. And maybe there's some collab in the future.
There's definitely going to be that search will never be given up. We'll continue to try and get that to the forefront for us at some point, but it's really what converted us into doing this project. Forced its hand a little bit more and made me go out and find the right partners in the industry and do my homework as I've learned in our industry, and cold calling and vetting out partners and credit checks and all the good things that you look for, and finding the best partner and talking to suppliers of, just electrical and HVAC, and talking to who the best person is.
Contractors that you have to deal with, not only as a dealership business owner, but that gets multiplied when you're a property owner as well, and property management. And
totally.
So Courtney, what is your role? What is Russo doing here with and why? Yeah, so you are VP with Russo, and it looks like you have an impressive list of properties that you guys own, from industrial properties to residential, mixed residential, and retail properties, everything.
So Russo Development is a over 50, almost 58-year-old company. Started originally in Bergen County in the Karlstad area. A little bit like, if people are familiar with behind where I guess MetLife Stadium is, where the Giants and the Jets play, over back behind there in the Meadowlands is kind of where we all started. And so I'm a Jersey girl myself, and it's very fulfilling to me to be working. Anyway, we're a developer. We have 17 properties across New Jersey, spanning as far down to Middlesex County, we just opened a project in New Brunswick. We're opening in East Brunswick. We're redeveloping in Metro Park, which is a pretty popular train station in the middle of New Jersey. So we do a lot of really cool revolutionary products, very different. And I would definitely say that we are the premier developer in New Jersey for residential. But also we also do commercial data centers, warehouses. We have our hand in a lot of different things, which really kind of positions us and gives us a unique edge to kind of look at the market in a more holistic way. And that's why this project with John was just so exciting from the get-go. I mean, I remember when Ed Russo, who's our CEO, who's an amazing guy, who John is very close to, as am I, mentioned to me that we'd be partnering with this motorcycle mall. And I, just having grown up in the area, I knew of it. And I was like, that is so interesting. And just from the beginning, working with John, it's just been a really cool experience to bring our vision to life. And we really work. So my role as our VP of marketing, I really want to work the vision and the energy. That's why I was asking about music. I really want to work the vision and the energy and the brand into the building. So if you look behind us, we're sitting in our club room, and we'll get you some more amazing views of our gorgeous spot.
The lighting too.
The lighting is beautiful, and we have great city views. I know you were talking about, John was talking about New York City, and we do have some super city views. But we were just so excited to do a collab with someone as well known and well respected as John, and we both both come from companies that are generational family. Like we're both not afraid to get our hands dirty and dig in. I've been with Russo about 6 years. There's two versions of me. There's construction Courtney in a hard hat and boots, and then construction Courtney in a heels, ready for a podcast. Yeah, so this is the podcast Courtney. But no, I love working with John. He's it's just thinking out of the box. It's like there's so much happening, and just bringing businesses together and connecting businesses is such a passion of mine, and being able to do this in such a special place. I mean, John and I probably if we're a few years apart, but we have a million people in common, and he's just so well respected, as is Ed Russo, our CEO. And it's my pleasure. I mean, marketing a product when it is this beautiful. I mean, we have 268 units. Very much resort style amenities, gorgeous pool. People say, we're very much known for getting our 5-star reviews at our other communities, where people say it's like living in a resort. And this is no exception to that.
So is it 268, does that include the retail space?
No, those are residential apartments. Okay. Those are residential apartments for lease. The retail downstairs is quite exciting. And John and I have been really collaborating closely on this too, along with our commercial leasing team, as we do have significant, I think we have, how many retail units do we have?
It's got about 10 right now. We're trying to curate it with like local, good vibe, bring people to the community, create them center that people want to come to. Mm-hmm. So when you see the building, you see the courtyard, you see the town, it's an inviting area, and it opens up the street to just the grandeur of the buildings that we have on both sides of the street now, but more so just to inviting and welcome people into the community and the town. And that's the local feel that we're at. And, the Jersey girl, the all of us together, right? Like, it's just like our hometown feel is just trying to bring people here and invite them and welcome them. And there was nothing really, quite honestly, in this area that was at this level. And in vetting out and finding Ed, our partner in this, it was just exceptional to find somebody who family-owned business, generational, long-term.
Through some kind of, I don't know. It was like we were talking earlier.
Oh yeah, how you met Ed? That's a great story.
You were kind of looking to do this development on your own, and there were a lot of hoops and hurdles to get through, and you meet Ed, who's like this he's got the heavyweight, he knows how to get through all this stuff. So explain a little
it was an interesting one, right? And I always believe in like karma and how things work their way, and the world's round, right? You do good. And by chance I was shopping the property before and looking around. I had approvals for 135 units, 20,000 retail, and was going to do it on my own in 2 buildings. But as I was progressing more with the town, I kept hitting a couple, it was older administration that was there. The new administration has been great, worked with us. Some of the old administration was just as great, but there was those roadblocks. And when I bumped into one of Ed's employees by means of my dealership, right, being in there and him being an avid motorcyclist, we started talking. He's like, I would love to talk to you. And sat down, spoke to Ed, and I couldn't have more of a welcoming, warm person that was there to help and guide and mentor. And that was exceptional, with no, hey, I need to have this. Like, it was like, hey, whatever I can do to help you, this is a great project for you. He's like, but let's go talk to the town, see what they're willing to do. And when we did that, he brought so much more to the table. I was like, this is gonna be an education. I mean, my college might be jealous of my education I got here, but it was exceptional and well respected in the industry, and also by the town and the communities, and what he's done before. And when I was shopping other local properties, his was the top 4 of the 5 on my list that I kept going back to we need to do this, and I need to do this, and we got to have a dog run, and there's a dog spa, and wait a second, the amenities room has to have at least 1 or 2 pool tables and foosball, and it was like, you kept going down. I'm like, man, they do such a great product. I got to talk to this guy. And when we got together, we hit it off. It was great, and it's been a tremendous work relationship. And the team that I was introduced to was exceptional. With Courtney, another Courtney, Diogo, Troy, Chris Minks. I mean, I could shout out everybody, right? But I feel like I'm giving like my Emmy speech. But it was exceptional to work with such an established and amazing team.
They knew what they were doing. They know what they're doing.
And Brendan, we have our own. So we're a very interesting developer in that we really do everything. We have a whole staff of subject matter experts, from development, acquisitions, legal, accounting, construction. We do our own construction. We have our own construction arm. We have our own property management arm, maintenance, all in-house. So there's so much pride that comes with our product, right? Like it's not just like a developer that builds it and then gives it to a third party person to manage. It's kept really close to our chest, and it's something that we really like, we take a lot of pride in. And to what John was saying about like the city of Bellville and this county, we have properties really kind of flanking Bellville, ironically, like in all the towns around, and we have a really great reputation.
Do you have any properties similar to this in other towns, or is this more unique?
We have our residential brand is called Vermella. So we have Vermella properties like a little bit all around, like we have in Newark, which is a neighboring town. We have in Kearney, Lyndhurst, kind of all close around. And they are similar. Some of them are older properties, so like a little bit more of like a legacy feel. As a developer and having our own architecture team, we've grown so much, especially post-COVID, in understanding what people want in a living space. Like their apartment is not just four walls. It's gorgeous amenities, it's co-working spaces, it's community connections, it's having great retail on site. And that's a big piece of my call at Russo, and something I'm so proud of is we really are the kind of developer that wants to come in and build our roots and wants to come in and really like, we want to leave places better than we found them, and for our children and for generations to come. And that's kind of like the shared ethos that we have. And so I'm very excited because in the middle of our community is almost this like, we're going to go back to our Italian, a piazza, which a piazza is like in Italian, you would say like via piazza is like, let's go to the piazza. And it's kind of like this idea of like a meeting place where people come together to have a coffee or talk about what's going on. And so we're really excited to bring that local, and like for bigger celebrations in the town, whether it's a Christmas tree or a menorah lighting or anything fun like that. Like we're very excited to be able to offer that to the city of Bellville. And because that's just who we are, and that's who John is. And it plays so nicely together because it's really this amazing collaboration of really cool bikes, really cool technology mixed with amazing architecture design. It's a very sexy collaboration.
The name of the you guys have named it like the Rev by
Vermella. So Rev by Vermella is a couple things. You think of rev, you think of motion, you think of like rev your engine, you think of the idea of like motion, energy, fast, the latest and greatest in technology. But you also think of the first three letters of Vermella are backwards, are rev. So our property is Rev by Vermella. And the Vermella name is really strong, but this property, because John is our partner and because of the connection, we wanted to make it so special that it really felt like there was a connective tissue.
More so the Rev.
Yeah.
Just because it plays on the motor. We're going to go revolutions on the motor. We're going to go
the revolutions. It speaks to the
we take that part very seriously. The energy of the collaboration.
Yeah. And like I say, it plays on both sides of the street. It kind of is inviting. It's, for product unveilings eventually, right? Using the courtyard, using the architecture, right? Like to call in some of the manufacturers when they do their product unveilings, the skyline of New York City, right? Like, the views are exceptional of, from every angle, it's almost a 360 that you can see skyline from the rooftop. And we have some cool rooftop amenities.
Is there like a rooftop patio or anything like that? Or
there is, yeah. We have movie wall, grills. I mean, it's awesome. Fire bowls.
That's the whole idea of like
incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. And it's the whole idea of like your apartment is not the four walls.
Kind of,
And also post-COVID, we've learned so much about co-working. There's so many spaces in this building for people that maybe have a hybrid schedule and work from remote some days and are maybe in the city. We're going to have a shuttle to take people to transportation to the city, which is also a really attractive perk. Because you can kind of get a little bit
that you can. Oh my gosh.
It's awesome. The Rev resident shuttle. Yes.
We might wrap a slingshot. We might wrap a side-by-side eventually. We'll see what
have like a couple of those things, like, hey, you want to go, ride into the city with a slingshot or,
This is just the beginning, Brendan. This is just the beginning. We have a lot of ideas coming.
A lot more to go.
I could definitely see some rental stuff. I mean, not just apartment rentals. And now these are apartments, right? They're not like condos. They're
a rental product. Yeah, they're for rental products. And to be honest with you, with the climate in New Jersey as it's been very favorable for us in the last 5 years just
Yeah.
given the housing market, but also post-COVID, a lot of people wanting to get out of the city or places that are closer to the city, like the Jersey City, the Hoboken, which we in New Jersey call the Gold Coast. And people are seeing their rental increases are going up 20%. And people, this is a lot more desirable because you do get a much more attainable value of luxury at a better price, but also like so much space to breathe, green space, much more. And
Yeah.
to say we also build like a condo developer. So everything inside the apartment is like top of the line, like full size washer dryer, everything's on dimmers. Everything is very, very, very high end, custom
Like smart
closets.
apartments. You have them like
Yep,
hooked
smart
up to,
apartment
like, the
technology.
Alexas and the,
Mhm.
or
Like
yeah.
our closets are swoon worthy. Like, I mean,
Got
your wife,
kids.
when John's
I
wife
hope
saw
my
the
wife
closet,
doesn't hear this.
she
She'll
wanted
be
to
like,
move in.
She's like, what is this? I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be expensive taking it.
It's going to be expensive.
But it's
okay.
it's beautiful. It's somewhere you'd want to live, right? And you want that same quality for the people that are here that you would want in your own. And
Yeah.
it showcases like, the dual sinks in the bathroom.
Yep.
Just the amenity
It's
space.
those things that make a difference a lot of times.
Yeah, and you don't
It's like,
find that in most rental products in New Jersey. You
you
really
don't
don't.
see-
Ceiling
Yeah.
heights as well, 8
Yeah.
to 10 foot ceiling heights. It's solid, beautifully built building that we built together and for generations to come. And it's a legacy piece for us and for the industry. So it's something we're
Yeah.
proud of for sure.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, all the best wishes for success with this endeavor. I really think it's amazing sounding. Someday I'm going to get there and check it out.
You have to
New Jersey's
come.
not that far from me, but I think that it's interesting to hear these out of the box type ventures that people are taking. And I know the industry, so numbers have come out, for Q1 down a little, not as bad as we thought, but I don't know what that means. People are saying they're stocking up for because of the tariffs. I don't know what's going to happen, but hey, it's the start of the season. I like to be optimistic.
Always got to be, it pushes you still to do the sales. It pushes you to do what you got to do and get ahead of it. But at the same time, right, we're in this industry, been in this industry, I've been in it for solid 23 years straight of working. I can't count anything under a certain age as a child pushing a broom and having to pick up and stock shelves, right? Can't say so much, but I'll tell you, the industry, we've been through the ups and downs and we know how to weather the storm. And at the same time, just being prepared for it. It's what you do. And, you work with the great relationships of the OEMs that we work with and our suppliers and constantly work on those relationships and make sure you're buying correctly and stocking correctly to get through these downturns and upturns as well. So we're at that point, but we'll get through it and keep growing.
I mean, that's
And I would
thing.
say
You
the
gotta
same for our
be
industry
prepared.
too, with like building supplies and
Oh, yeah.
glass and
Oh,
anything
yeah.
that's coming from overseas. Like we're doing our best to kind of pivot accordingly and make sure, obviously, we're not facing massive delays due to things that are stuck in customs or all the different things that are happening.
Right.
So, and I think like the biggest thing of our product is that just knowing John and having spent so much time with him is that like he leads with authenticity, and so do we. Like we're very much like our heart is in it, our pride is in it. These are like, this isn't like a third party thing. These are like our babies, right? So we treat them as such, and we want to be prepared to weather, just like you said, anything that comes our way. But we have great teams that are leasing. We have an amazing leasing team back here.
Have you started renting units out?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
We've had move-ins. We have residents.
Wow.
We've really taken off to a great start. I had no apprehension about it, as John literally knows everyone. Like I go to lunch with him and his phone rings like 75 times. And I'm like, how do you know everyone in New Jersey? But he does. And John has been such an invaluable piece of our marketing on that grassroots level. But also, of course, we deploy, like we have lots of digital marketing strategies as well as grassroots, like root building kind of things. But yeah, we're leasing, we're
Do they get
psyched,
a
we have
discount
move-ins.
for motorcycles if they rent from you?
Of
You
course,
get
listen, we got to tie it
there
all
we
in
go.
together. Both
Always,
sides of the
yeah.
street, always working both sides. But I say this,
Exactly.
Literally.
yeah, it's literally always working. But it's funny, for employees, for customers who are asking, of course, we're always trying to help get people in. But it's so amazing to see like the building come to life, right? Like from a dirt field where I was parking trailers and overgrown and crazy to what we've created here together, to see people here utilizing the building and working in the co-work space and using the fitness center, which now I finished my Achilles surgery. I'm going to start running on a treadmill soon enough. I can't wait.
God. Well, hey guys, I think we're about wrapped up here, but I really want to thank you for coming on. I mean, there's a lot more we could talk about, and I just feel like this is a cool project. We want to keep an eye on this. Any further developments and things you want to share, please let us know, and best of luck.
And we'll definitely have some cool collaborations and things coming down the line once our piazza is activated. And we would love to bring you along for the ride to see what we have going on.
I got to go check out the piazza,
Yeah, and maybe you need a little crash pad apartment in New Jersey,
I might, yeah.
You might need a little something.
Right.
No, but we're so excited to have you and definitely welcome you back. And we're excited for the journey, and let's go.
It's all starting now, the motorcycle season, the rental season, people move in, like spring is a big moving time too.
Huge. This is our biggest, so summer's really when we see our biggest traffic, really probably from April, I'd say April through like September, October. We see like a lot of people want to move, but we see it really all year. I mean, we've opened buildings on December 24th and had people moving in. Everybody, like, this is the kind of industry too, like we're giving them a home, right? So it's like, it's a little bit like of the thing where it's like, if it works for someone's personal timing, we obviously accommodate whatever they need. And
I won't say it wasn't timed perfectly, but it was timed perfectly for a reason, that we do open up during the season. So everything falls into place, and just
as it should, right?
Yes, the schedule to do this and put this together and how it came to life, right, was all orchestrated so well, and an amazing part of the process to be a part of and understand and realize that, which was awesome. So.
And like to your point, like my favorite part of my job, I've been doing property management and real estate marketing for like 12 years, 13 years. But my favorite part is literally standing when it is truly like nothing or underutilized space, and we're able to bring it to life in a meaningful way.
What it's come from, like you said.
It's so incredible.
That's great. That it is amazing to see. And
you know what I could share with you too, which might be interesting. We have really cool drone footage too of the building, like actually in motion. I think you would love to see that.
And that along, we will. I can weave that into the video part of it.
I would say I can get a couple of professional racers to back some bikes in around the entry and the lobby, but I don't want to make any marks yet. We'll wait a little. Keep it fun.
Maybe do a little stunt show or something like that.
I've never been on a motorcycle.
Well, I think that's about to change.
It's time.
It is.
Right, you gotta come out, man. You gotta.
I know, man.
Double ride. That's it.
I'm there. I will be there. So, I want to.
I have to trust you more than John, because if John kills me, it'll be, it's fault.
Yeah, you can't kill the landlord, so Yeah. Well, that was the other thing I was thinking of. Like, you're going to be across the street, so I own a couple rental properties, and I don't really know if I want. They got my number, so people are calling you all the time, if they know where you are, they're going to be like, "Hey,
it happens every day. It's okay, like being in the motorcycle power sports industry, right? Like customer facing, retail, dealing with customers. So it's what I guess I was groomed by my grandfather, my father to do, and I'm grooming the fourth generation to do. So it's important to be there and be a part of the community and talk and be with everybody, and it's how you grow and you build your reputation and your confidence.
Yeah. John and I could talk to a tree, as you could see.
Yeah.
We're talkers. We like to connect people, make connections. So John will welcome it.
Yes. Well, congratulations and good luck.
Come and visit us. For
I
sure.
will. I'm definitely going to be there. So, all right, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
If you like this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. We also invite you to connect with us on powersportsbusiness.com.